Hi everyone, Joe Convertino Jr., Paul Banuski for our weekly HR Minute. Paul, a little interesting topic this week I want to talk about. Injuries or little medical attentions that may happen at work. I have an example. Okay, Tuesday I shut a door in the office and had some blood and, needed some peroxide and some bandaging. It reopened today again after I worked out. This is not workers' comp, even though it can be.
Right.
Talk to our viewers a little bit about first aid, what you should have in an office, because I was scrambling to my team to get some things, but everything's fine. But on a serious note, for all types of businesses on what they should have for some sort of medical kits and things of that nature.
So first aid is something that every employer should be thinking about. Every employer should have a well-stocked first aid kit in their office. If you've got, this is another thing that I like, Joe, we'll encourage our clients that have company vehicles to keep a small first aid kit in their company vehicles if they're off on job sites. And then the other thing we talk about is a first aid policy in your employee handbook. And really what you want to do, and you have a responsibility as an employer, is to provide that basic first aid to your employees. Again, if they cut their hand, if they get, let's say, a mild burn on the back of their hand on a coffee pot
or in a microwave,
kitchen,
something with that.
Right. There are lots of little types of injuries that can happen all the time. In fact, one of the more common ones in offices, just people tripping and falling. Right? Maybe you got cords out somewhere.
Well, that could be deemed workers' comp.
It could.
See that happen.
But again, if somebody has that sort of real I'll use the phrase minor injury, right, that can be resolved with basic first aid, that's the kind of thing that employers should be prepared for. You should have the first aid kit. You should have a policy in your handbook letting employees know where those first aid kits are located.
Correct.
Right, throughout the building, just like with fire extinguishers.
Correct.
So you have that stuff, and then you have the obligation to provide that basic first aid. But you mentioned workers' comp, and it is important to note that there are going to be times when
it could
become a workers' comp claim. So it's also important to document anytime an employee, even if it seems like it's a pretty minor injury, it's probably not a bad idea to document somewhere, hey, Joe cut his hand on the closet and we gave him basic first aid.
But it still hurts, Paul. I don't know if I can golf this week.
Well, Joe, I don't know how you'll get through the week.
I'm only kidding. But seriously, if you'd like to learn more, and not only about employees, vendors, suppliers, customers come on your site for certain situations if this happens. So it's not only for your employees, it's for your vendors and people that do come in contact with you at your place of business. So to learn more about all of this, medical kits, policies and procedures on first aid, feel free to call us here at CH Insurance. Ask for Paul. We'll be more than glad to help you guys out through this process. Have a great day, great weekend, and remember, CH is in your corner.